Good morning. Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11. You can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Here to take a look at some pitching for today, the 21st of June. It is Sunday. We do have a 9-game slate ahead of us today. It is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all of you out there. We do have some potential rain in one spot from my understanding, and that is the Cubs game. Pretty important spot as well. It is a little cooler in Chicago, so if the rain were to happen to hold off enough, I think it's better pitching weather than hitting weather. The problem is I don't know that it's going to hold off. What do we do with Dylan Cease? What do we do with Shota? A couple of huge questions ahead of us today. Reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where majority of my action is. If you do play on FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. But also, I believe the FanDuel slate is much larger than the DraftKings slate, adding, unnecessary games for the afternoon when they normally don't do that. But let's just jump right into this DK slate, get an idea what we're doing for pitching, help us trim down a pool, gives us some names we got to spend the next hour trying to figure out and go from there. Brewers, Braves. Bryce Elder has been better on the road than at home, coming off an atrocious start. He hasn't looked great recently. I don't think I'm going to be interested in him against the Brewers. Actually, he's been better at home than on the road. But I feel like those numbers flip-flopped after his last start, because I feel like his overall numbers were better on the road going into that last start. So he's probably a pretty neutral guy at this point. Like I said, I just don't really love picking on the Brewers with dominant pitching. I feel like they just put the ball in play, create runs, just to annoy us. The other side, Robert Gasser. Talented arm, does have some K upside, but I don't know. I like Kyle Harrison yesterday. I don't know that I really like Robert Gasser in this spot. It's been pretty bad on the road, obviously small sample size. I think there's probably some better spots to go than pitching in this game in general. Cincinnati, New York, Chase Burns, one of the better pitchers on the slate. Dangerous spot. The Yankees are scoring some runs, generally at home. They did struggle a bit yesterday, so that might help Burns out a little bit. Definite K upside. The issue is he racks up pitch count trying for those strikeouts, and he's yet to have a double-digit strikeout game. Just 5 innings and 5 1/3 over his last 2 starts while going into the 100 pitch mark. That just tells you we're kind of limited to 6 innings. He did have a 1 7-inning performance this season where he was just super efficient and dominant. Just a ton of upside, and I think this slate kind of needs somebody like Burns because we're somewhat limited, especially if we can't go with somebody like Dylan Cease because of the weather. Elmer Rodriguez, probably somebody I'm not interested in. More walks and strikeouts at the major league level. He's yet to give up a home run at the major league level, but I am going to go out on a limb and say that he allows at least one today against Cincinnati Reds. I would bet 2 or 3 home runs. That's kind of the stance I'm taking in my first look. White Sox, Detroit. Davis Martin, somebody that 2 out of the last 3 starts have been atrocious. But almost every other start he's been really, really, really good. Has not faced Detroit yet this season. His road numbers much worse than at home, so that's a big worry for me. I'll be honest, he was in my very, very first look build, kind of my no research build. I may come off of him a little bit as my main lineup hand build, but at least he was there initially. Those home runs road splits are pretty severe, but there's upside against the Detroit lineup. On the other side, Montero, I think he's in play. He did put up 20 fantasy points against the White Sox earlier. Could have been 24, nearly 25 if he picked up the W. He's been a lot better this year than he had the years past, so there's upside for him. I don't mind him. Maybe he is a better play than Davis Martin, but I don't know. I do kind of like a couple of the White Sox bats as well, mainly Colson Montgomery. Washington, Tampa Bay. Nick Martinez is somebody I'm going to use, or somebody I'm interested in. He hasn't been as sharp recently. His June starts have been pretty rough. Did strike out 6 against the Dodgers last time out. This overall wasn't a bad start. So he can get it done. The problem is like, I don't know, his upside's not really gigantic. There is some strikeouts, obviously, but there's some dangerous bats in this lineup. He hasn't been as strong from a fantasy points perspective at home, which is kind of weird because it's a decent pitcher's park. But I think Martinez is certainly viable as an SP2, especially given that we don't really have a whole lot of dominating pitchers, at least in my initial look. Andrew Alvarez has been all right, but I just can't use him against Tampa Bay. They're not a huge strikeout team. Even though the bottom half of that lineup is probably weak enough, that top part is just so strong against left-handed pitching. San Francisco, Miami. Ryan Gusto, not a good pitcher at this point. As much as I've been picking on San Francisco with pitchers, I just don't think I'm getting there with Ryan Gusto. The other side, Logan Webb, I'm definitely getting there with Logan Webb. 1 earned or fewer in 4 straight starts and 5 of his last 6. Starting to look like the guy that we expected, 26 plus in 3 straight. He's even doing it on the road this season, where normally he had some pretty solid or strong home road splits. Allowing a batting average against him of under 200 on the road. Pretty solid. Logan Webb, going to be one of my favorite guys on this slate. Cleveland, Houston. Tang is always going to get some talk because of Cleveland's lineup. It's not really somebody I love. Coming off the 9 strikeout performance is very interesting. Did give up 3 home runs to Detroit, but do we really expect him to give 3 home runs to Cleveland? Maybe not, but I guess we weren't really expecting Arrighetti to do that, and he definitely did that yesterday. I think Tang is somebody that you can mix in. I just don't really want to rely heavily on somebody like him. On the other side, Slade Stoney. He's been decent recently. He's another one that could have a decent performance. He got lit up by Houston the first time he faced them. I'm not too interested. He's given up 8 home runs on the road. It's not a terrible rate. It's 1 every, almost 7 innings, but still, he gives up a few more on the road. So he just allows more base runners, etc. I don't think I'm getting to Sony. I don't really want to use Tang a whole lot, but I will. But he's really the only guy in that game that I want to utilize. St. Louis, Kansas City. Dustin May continuing to pitch extremely well. Absolutely dominated the Padres. Complete game shutout, 101 pitches. Back-to-back starts with 101 pitches. Did get an extra day of rest in there, coming off of a 9 inning. A lot of times now, with the way that they treat pitching, I tend to fade guys coming off of complete games. But I don't think we need to for May. It's not some dominant spot, but with Kansas City without, not having Bobby Witt in the lineup, makes the lineup so much weaker. Problem is they're also not a big K squad, and Dustin May normally isn't a big K guy. He does have 9 in 3 out of his last 4 starts, which is a great trend. But we could see something similar to the first time he faced them around a month ago where he only struck out 3. I don't think he's going to walk 4 with the way that he's been pitching. He's probably going to be fairly popular, to be honest, based on the way that he's throwing the baseball, and especially if we lose like Dylan Cease and Shota. Stephen Kolek, 4 of his last 6 starts have been really strong. I did pick him up to start him in a fantasy league today where I need some fantasy points. I don't know that he's got enough upside. He doesn't strike out a whole lot. He did put up nearly 21 against them the first time he faced them, but just 3 strikeouts. If you wanted to use him, I probably wouldn't talk you out of him. I'm just not planning on going out of my way to stuff him in lineups. Aforementioned Cubs-Toronto game. Very important timing with the weather. We just really don't know. We're going to have to pay attention right up until, slate start time. Dylan Cease always has a ton of upside. K numbers through the roof. They come with some volatility with walks, and then with walks can come, 2 and 3 run home runs. But when he's on, he just racks up strikeouts. He does rack up pitch count early, 108 pitches to get through 5 innings. It might have been 5+ innings. He could have started the 6th for all I know. I don't have that information in front of me, but there's upside, but a lot of volatility, especially with the weather. On the other side, Shota, weather worries me. The fact that Toronto doesn't strike out at all worries me. I think Shota's somebody that I'm going to fade. Even if the weather's said to hold off, I think I'm going to go with the fade. He hasn't allowed a home run in the last 2 starts. Ironically, both games against Colorado. But in the 4 starts prior to that, he had allowed 12 home runs. So home runs are an issue. The wind is blowing slightly out, I believe, in Wrigley. It's just cooler, and the environment's better for pitchers. But I think Shota's just a little too highly owned right now, given the uncertainty of that game. But I do see that Dylan Cease is projected to be the highest owned pitcher, which does worry me because of that weather. Last game on the slate, Evaldi Giolito. Evaldi's fine. He hasn't been very good recently. I think he's solid in this spot. There is some volatility. Like, San Diego can wake up a little bit. But when Evaldi steps up, like he did back, this trio of starts back-to-back against the New York Yankees, he is absolutely dominant. So he's somebody we got to use because the upside's just so strong on this slate. Lucas Giolito is following an opener. It's not listed here. I probably needed to refresh, but I did see that they're expecting to start Wandy Peralta again. He was really good in this one following an opener until he wasn't. Kind of fell apart. Strikeouts haven't been there, and that's a worry for me. But I did write up Lucas Giolito in today's What Do We Win When We Win article. You want to check that out on the website. That is for DFS Army members only. But I did write about him just because I think it's a sneaky spot for him. I just hope that he figures out how to strike guys out again without walking so many. Following an opener probably gives him a little better chance of picking up the W based on how they've been limiting his pitches. So that's kind of important to me, and that's kind of why I was a little more intrigued. But there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, Discord, chat, etc., there will be a link in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off any MLB package, or Best Ball 2026 gets you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership. That Core 4 membership does include MLB as well. So check that out. 20%, the best one we have going. Those percentages are for the life of your membership. There's a link in the description to our merch store. You can check out my hoodie, some of the other designs that we do have. Hopefully you guys enjoy your Father's Day out there, and as always, best of luck, everybody.